Welcome to our third step, interpretation. This is where we get the benefit of the preparation we have done and the observation that we've done, and we start to answer the question, what does this mean? You see, observation was looking at facts, like the dates, the things that were fixed, and then interpretation looks more at the meaning. Again, what did it mean to the original people it was written for? And it's wonderful to have tools to use as we do this interpretation. You see, our goal is to grasp the meaning of the text as it was intended. We don't create the meaning. We don't twist it to say what we want to say, but we find out the meaning that's already there. So I've used, for this step of interpretation, I've used a book called Grasping God's Word by Duval and Hayes, and it's called The Interpretive Journey. And they've got a unique way of looking at it. First, they say, okay, let's see what the text means in the town. And that was the observation. You know, you start to see who was it written to, what did it cover, that kind of stuff. And then you start to look at, okay, what are the principles that was communicated to the people at the time? And then they have what they call a bridge. So they're going to take what is possible to take from the meaning that the original hearers learned over to their own town. So this is where we take what we've learned into our lives. But we need to make sure it's a timeless principle. It wasn't just talking about head coverings for that time or the law for that time in that group of people. Those things don't cross the bridge. There's no principle that you're taking because we're not under law anymore. So those are the meaning you have to say, okay, what is the heart of God here? What is it communicating to me? How does this help me to know God? So you can ask those questions without taking something that was culturally significant, time sensitive. You want to take the big picture of what God is showing you about Him personally, but it has to be like a timeless principle. It has to be in the covenant that we are now in. You see, we can't bring across anything on that bridge that requires us to prove ourselves, because under the new covenant, we've received a life. We're not trying to attain something. A very important verse in Galatians. If righteousness could be attained through human effort, Jesus died for nothing. So you don't want to take anything over the bridge that Jesus already covered. But you want to take the heart. Who is God and what is He saying to me? So I've got a lot of information in the notes. Again, you're going to review your observation before you start the interpretation. And I hope you have fun with it. There's some questions. What does this tell me about the character of God? What does it tell me about God's redemption plan? And they're just some really worthwhile things. So I look forward to hearing from you, and you can do that in the comments or through the contact. Okay, I will meet you next week for the application, which is a lot of fun. But let's learn to do these first 3 steps well. Thank you.